You're welcome to this edition of EW. I'm Anthony, and guess what? It's another special, but this time we're counting down really interesting, controversial, revealing interviews we've had throughout the year. Now, these interviews were not picked in any particular order, but I assure you it's really exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and I'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. It's EW and I'm Anthony, and I told you earlier it's an interview special. We're going to count down the interviews we had in 2017. Not all of them interesting, controversial, you know, those interviews you really love, but in no particular order. Let's check out the first set of interviews for 2017. Was out for fans who don't know the reality of being popular. How do you deal with that life? Especially when the media just goes bizarre, social, and they just write all kinds of funny things, forgetting that you're human. How do you deal with that?
I ignore a lot of stuff that's written on online. I like it when people write stuff about me online, whether it's positive or negative. It just means I have to spend less money on PR. And less money on, you know, like trying to like go here or be there or be everywhere. Let them keep talking. I take it very well, honestly. You know, contrary to popular belief, I take a lot of these things very well.
When I do anything, I want people to key into it. I want people to learn from it, where you can take things home. It's not just when you produce a movie that people laugh and then forget about it. No, it has to have meaning. It has to be meaningful. You understand? Because I see myself as a preacher, as a teacher, as a doctor. Because when I give you a good movie, you smile. That's therapy. When I teach you like a teacher, you say the good, you say the bad, where you're going wrong. Everything has to come in the movie. And but now, I don't know what the cinema that we say we have are doing, because they decide to do the English, they leave the Yoruba out, they leave the Igbo out, they leave the Hausas out. No, it is a cinema, it's a cinema.
Let's go back to Checkmate. Was there a point where it actually dawned on you, the cast, that this is a household brand and a lot of you in particular, were getting high rates? I mean, fan base was nationwide. How did you feel when you heard such information?
Well, it's very different nowadays with social media and all. So we didn't have that sort of 24/7 sort of news. So the build up to realizing that we were this brand that was so successful was a bit slower than it would be nowadays. But eventually it dawned on me. I went away to France with my family. We were on holiday, and we walked down the street, and 3 young girls, I think I still have the picture that they sent me, came up and they were screaming and they were almost incoherent. And I was, at first, when they first came up, I thought they were coming to ask for directions. And so I was, you know, going to my, you know, I don't speak French. And then they were like, yes, it was Egoboy at the time. And I was like, oh, okay. And, you know, so we posed for pictures. I gave autographs. I think for me, that was the moment when I realized that, okay, this is bigger than just, you know, going out to work and doing my shoot and preparing for Thursday. And it sort of grew from there. But we didn't have that sort of barrage of, you know, people taking our pictures and all of that, because then it was a bit more, you know, laid back.
I hope you enjoyed every bit of that, but guess what? We just started. I'll go on a quick commercial break and I'll be right back.
From the STV family to all of our viewers, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Okay, this is wishing all our advertisers and viewers a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
You're welcome back to EW, and remember, it's the interview special where we're going through some of the interviews we had in 2017. Remember, in no particular order at all. I get the responsibility of sitting with these celebrities and drilling them. Enjoy the next set of interviews we had in 2017. And after you won, parents were a lot more comfortable in saying, how did that feel for you, that it was sort of like a breaker where more Nigerian mothers were comfortable with saying, okay, their daughters can take part in pageants? How did that feel for you?
It is interesting because before the pageant, my dad didn't actually want me to go into the pageant. It wasn't sure because you're right, because of the stigma associated with pageants in the country. So it took a second for him to get me to go. So I do understand where the apprehension will come from for other parents. But it's also, I guess it's somewhat of a privilege to know that I was able to have this positive effect on the pageantry in Nigeria. Yes.
Okay, now looking at Miss World itself, the journey, were you at any point, was there some form of anxiety, like what's going to happen? This is a new journey entirely. How was that for you?
I went to Miss Universe after Miss MBGN. Before I went in for Miss World. So I guess if I had any apprehension, any questions, it would have been for Miss Universe, not so much Miss World. So by the time I went in, and I went in for Miss Universe, I believe just roughly 2 months after I won MBGN. So it's a lot of preparation to do. It was my first international pageant, but I would say that experience there prepared me for Miss World because I was able to see what it was to be an international pageant, how to interact with the girls, what the judges were looking for, and so yeah.
And you were telling us about the genesis of your career, which is quite surprising. So I think you should give me a bit more information concerning how your career even started outside the shores of Nigeria.
All right. So it's so funny. You know, I went to school in Ghana. I was in Ghana for 7 years, non-stop, doing schooling, and then I started recording in Ghana. And I remember one of my earliest popular songs called PP Dance. My friend in London actually made some 3 UK dancers shoot a video. So now they shot a viral video, and the video was huge amongst Africans in the UK. Now I didn't know any of this was happening. I was just trying to finalize my BSc. But I started to see that my followership was rising. I would search myself and see people talking about my music. I'll see videos of people dancing to my song. I'm loving the way that you are moving the waist. The beat is banging, baby, do not pull it. During my MSc thesis, I had a lot of time, and my friend dragged me to the studio and recorded a mixtape. Now, the first ever proper booking I ever got was people who came to meet me to say they wanted me to do Ghana's Independence Day celebrations in the UK. They wanted me to do 5 shows. So I remember speaking to, I had to call, then I didn't have a manager. I had to call one of my friends and say, yo, you are my manager, come for this meeting. So we went for the meeting in Accra, and they told us that they were going to pay us £2,000 per show. We were laughing. I was even joking with my family that we have free money. This is like scam business. Only for me to get to the first show in Leicester, and I couldn't enter because the owners of the club, they were saying it's overpacked. So I was like, overpacked. So I asked the guy, I'm like, which other artist is performing here today? He said, oh no, you're the only one, Mr. Eazi, you're the only one performing. I said, yeah. So I said, okay. When I got on stage, screams. To tell you the truth, I was shocked. I almost like stopped back out of, it took me like a few minutes to come back to my senses to know that this was real. And it happened across all 5 shows, and it just made me, if I had my manager, we're saying, we've been the biggest moguls.
Okay, let's look at Waje from her church days.
Yeah.
You were not Waje then, right?
No.
What did they used to call you?
Vivian.
What was by your real name?
Vivian.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk to us about Vivian.
Okay, so Vivian is a girl who just really loved music and every opportunity to stay on stage. And you know, I remember the very first time I took a solo, I was in GS3, and it was, we did the what's the sister act, the one that had Lauryn Hill on it.
Okay.
So we sang, you know, so my choir leader, Auntie Odia, she's an amazing person. She taught me everything I know about music. You know, she would come and have us do la 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 la, and my range was really high, so I used to be like a female tenor. Yeah, and it was just crazy because she just said, you know what, come and sing Oh Happy Day. So I remember Oh Happy Day, and as I was singing, it was Wednesday Chapel, I started, you know, then we used to play.
Shoot.
So I started doing that, or you know, while singing, and the next day I was a superstar in school. Yes, now, because this was my first time I was in GS3. I know the young girl will be looking at the senior block, whether they're ironing us or we're ironing, you know, those kind of things. So it just kind of made me a hero, you know, in school.
Now,
So
Vivian also, you know, had this thing where Archbishop Benson Dahosa
Yes.
was really blown away.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Okay, so under Auntie Osene, I now graduated to the church choir, and one evening he came to church and everybody thought he had traveled. So he came to church, and you know that thing where the pastor is out of town, so some people decide they're not going to come to church. So most of the choir members didn't come to church that day, and when it was time for the choir to sing, everybody knew I was Auntie Osene's baby, so they were like, oh yeah, come and sing. And I sang in Lord, make us instruments of your peace. And that was the last day I paid school fees in school, because the next day I was on scholarship, and from then, you know, my life just sort of became more musical.
You say interesting, you haven't seen anything yet, viewers. It's our interview special. I'll be right back after this commercial break.
The following illustrious Nigerians have been nominated for the incredible Silverbird Man of the Year for their extraordinary achievements in the outgoing year. They are in no particular order. Ibrikunle Amosu, the Governor of Ogun State, for infrastructural development and attracting business to Ogun State, thereby creating massive employment opportunities. Abdul Samad Rabiu for the establishment of more locally based companies, leading to the employment of thousands of Nigerians. Aminu Tambuwal, the Governor of Sokoto State, for promoting education mainly for the girl child and the emphasis placed on education in general. Dr. Jo Oke Udumaki for her unwavering commitment to the promotion of women's rights. And in Nyesom Wike, the Governor of River State, for massive infrastructure development projects in River State, earning him the title Mr. Projects. Vote for the nominee of your choice by sending the name of that individual by text. Type SMY, leave a space, and then text the name of your choice to 33120. Voting ends on December 31st.
Christmas time is a time for caring, loving, and sharing. I'd like to use this opportunity to wish our viewers and advertisers a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Christmas is a season for caring, sharing, and giving. So here's wishing all our clients, customers, friends, and well-wishers a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Welcome back from that commercial break. It's still our e-weekly interview special. Now, a next set of interviews, I want you to really sit back and find out. Interesting, controversial, annoying, you tell me. Enjoy this. No knowing, you know, how well you did with the top model, and yes, you got an award. Then comes top 15. So it was a double celebration for you. How did you feel?
Yeah, when I made top 15, I wouldn't lie, I didn't rejoice yet because I wanted more. I had, in my mind, I had prayed, I said, God, I don't want top 15, I want top 10. If I say top 5, maybe I might be being greedy, but I want top 10 at least. But I didn't make it to top 10, and maybe God knows best. Yes. But when I didn't make it to top 10, I was really disappointed because I know I had worked hard and I had put in my best to be able to make it to top 10. And I don't know why I didn't make top 10, but it's all good.
In reality, funny enough, we kind of had the same personality and it doesn't really bother us. Like, going back to the whole birthday thing, it was something we posted and we went about the rest of our day. Like, no one was worried about, like, well, let's check, see what they say. Like, it wasn't intentional, we wasn't looking for attention, and it wasn't, you know, let's get a reaction. It was my birthday weekend, we were just enjoying ourselves. So, it's as I said, it's one of those things, but what's more important is the relationship. It's not about what anyone else has to say, because we decided to be in a relationship because of who we are to each other. So regardless of what anyone or anybody or any publication has to say about it, it's just about us. I saw something, I can't even remember, it said something about my dad being a billionaire, something, and that she was dating me because of that. And I was confused. I was about to call my dad, like, wait, you didn't tell me you had all these billions of dollars. But, you know, it was just something that was just obviously absurd to us, and we laughed at it. But that's it. We don't really go into the comments and stuff like that to really, because as I said, it's not about anybody else. Like, and we're not bulletproof. Every relationship, you know, even Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship, you know, had backlash, and till date there will be trolls and everything, people creating fake profiles on social media and, you know, attacking them or saying this or accusing him of this or accusing her of that. We're not immune to it. We're all human beings, and we're all open to the public. Once you become someone on a certain platform, it's normal, it's expected, so we don't take it to heart.
Your wife, is she comfortable with intimate, you know, sensual scenes if you have to make out or get very romantic with a female opposite sex in a movie? Is she comfortable with that?
Well, truth is my wife is very understanding. That's why I always say I give her all the praise, you know, because I don't know how I would have taken it if tables were turned. That's the honest truth. And I get most of the lover boy role a lot, more than any other role, you know. So in 10 scripts, 8 of them demand me to get intimate with someone. But thing is, in production you have over 50 people behind the camera, or even 20 sometimes. So whatever is happening on set, you don't feel it. You're just trying to express and as much as possible tell that story in the best way possible. You know, you finish having a sensual scene right now, the next second your car she's somewhere else, so, you know, it means nothing. But for my wife, she's human, so I try as much as possible to advise her, oh, this movie, don't watch it. You know, that one, don't watch it. So there are times when I know I have to be out for some time. I would go on Africa Magic, you know, PVR decoder. I would search all the shows, everything showing, and when I see any of my movies, like, okay, babes, come. She's like, what's up? I'm like, yeah, see, this particular movie, don't watch it. You can watch this one, but you cannot watch that one. You know, and she tries not to feed her eyes with anything that will hurt her, so she won't even go there.
I absolutely hope you enjoyed all that, but we are not done yet. I need to go on a quick commercial break and I'll be right back.
my name is Simi, and this is STV, wishing you a beautiful Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Welcome back from that commercial break, and this is the finale. I'm talking the end. Drums roll right now as we count down our biggest interviews for 2017. In no particular order, you remember. Enjoy this. Now, talking about being a public figure, public figures come with so much in terms of the media. Like you and I were talking about how the media always wants juicy stories.
Yes.
Have you been able to balance that?
It used to happen with my dad a lot, and I used to be upset.
Yes.
You know, I'd want to talk about DJing, and people would want to talk about my dad. But I actually see that as a blessing, and you know, time has allowed me to realize it's something to be proud of. You know, but I think more than anything, I feel like you know, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like I am making a name for myself, and I'm starting to stand on my own 2 feet, and the Cuppy brand is getting a bit more weighting than it did when we first met.
Exactly, exactly. But do you think that's something that you will be able to handle on your own, being able to separate you from your dad's career?
That's a really good question. I used to think it was possible.
All right.
But I think the reality is that, you know, he's my father, and you know, he's someone that has done so well. I can only hope I achieve half what he's done in his life. But I think more than anything, it's a great marker for me to have. You know, I used to put myself under immense amounts of pressure, but quite frankly, I feel like I'm on the right track. And he tells me all the time, which is true. You know, when he was my age, he wasn't doing half the things I was doing. You know, so I like to think that, you know, I don't know, by the time I reach his age, you know, I'll be in a very great place. And you know, accomplishments are not always financial.
Speaking about houses, we heard the Squareville is on sale now. I'm interested in buying it.
You want to buy? Bring your 320 million. It's a normal thing. It's I and Jude owns Squareville, so we decided to sell it because we already fixed it up as office and studios and everything. That's what we already set up there. We use one side for office, studio and stuff. Then the other side we keep it like our sign artist, you know. But when we move into Ikoyi, we going there, bro. It's too stressful, bro. We will sell this thing while we're making plans to buy on the mainland. Somewhere in Lekki, it's close. Not the one you drive. You now be checking traffic. Hey, people don't close work. You know, so that's it. But all of them, when they put mouth, why would they have to sell it? Is it your house? But I still like Asha. It keeps us going, don't worry. Yeah.
Have you been able to survive with all the news going on around you and your brother lately?
It's normal. It's life. It's normal for me. It's life. But I always tell people, don't ever take your family outside. Whatever it is, try and solve it. You're a media person, right? When last did you have a problem with somebody in your family or friends? When last did you? And I want you to be honest with me. Not too long ago, right? You had a quarrel. I'm sure you guys raised your voice, right? Did you put it up to the media? Did you record it? Please, people, don't do that. It's not good.
Where ours is totally different. For example, when I say, no, I don't want this to happen, on the business, they say you're bringing family issues to the media or to the social media. You understand what I'm saying? You know, whether they like it or not, our case is totally different from anybody in the whole world, I know. So for me, they have the right, they can say whatever, but at the end of the day, what really matters is what comes from you.
You say, I them go tired. We still they have a CBC
All right, that was our biggest interview for 2017. You already know why, because it was super mega controversial. And the brothers, we pray they stay together, but I don't know, it's their choice. You know, it's been all over the internet, everybody's talking about it, but guess what? 2018, bigger interviews, and it's going to be a fabulous year. Bye, see you next week.
Girl, I have a question to ask you today. Will you marry me even though I met you today? And she said, you don't even know my father. Oh, the mommy rara. You don't know my mother. Cuppy me Shaya. Can you pay my rent price? It's just $1 million. Yeah, easy, jaja, take it slow. Coleto, yeah, my darling, jaja. Easy, jaja, take it slow. I'm a la pepe, I'm a to